if you're gonna be in this video, you gotta behave. He's like, what is behave? We're back with another colouring challenge today. Let's colour. Let's colour. Let's do a colouring challenge. So unlike my previous series where it's the spin the wheel, today I thought we would do a random colour palette generator. This is just one of the first websites that popped up when you say colour palette generator. It's Coolers. So I thought today we would generate a random colour palette and colour in a page together. Let's do it! I get so nervous to do this, I don't know why. Depending on the colour palette I get today will depend on the book. I know I shouldn't even get to pick the book and the page, but today this is our first time doing the random colour palette generator, so today I'll get to pick the book and the page. It picks the colours. Next time I do this, which I'm sure I'll do it again, I'll let the wheel pick the page and the number and I'll let this do it. Okay? I promise. You ready? Cockball's ready. Let's do it. I don't like that. Okay, it's fine. It's very muted tones. So we've got like a dark coffee brown, cinnamon wood, tangerine dream, soft peach, and cool steel. You know I love my greys and browns, so like this will be fine. Okay, I think I've got a vision. Now I've got to pick the markers out to match this. So let's grab our swatch sheet. My usual markers of choice are Ohuhu, so... Oh, is that very similar? Ooh, it's so close but so far. So I've got my Ohuhu nude packs. So I believe dark coffee will be the dark coffee color. I'm going to go in with this bark brown. He's on it. Oh no, don't push generate again. Get off, get off, get off, get off. Cinnamon. You like that word? Cinnamon. So for the cinnamon wood shade, I've got the cinnamon shade from Ohuhu. Again, tangerine dream, I have this peach cream. You're standing on the iPad again. Can you... Thank you. Okay, so soft peach, it's closest to this eggnog yellow. I think the closest for this cool steel grey is going to be this pale blue sky grey. I might have to go over it with a light grey to make it that more cool toned, but I feel like that's going to be as close as I'm going to get today. This is the colour palette today, chosen by the random generator. I've never done a colour palette like this, so I'm pretty excited. I feel like the colours are pretty spot on. I'm excited to have a go. Let's do it. Now it's time to pick the colouring book. I was tossing between these three. So first off is Cozy Europe, which I thought would have the same sort of vibe as the colour palette. I saw this page and I was like, this is perfect. It's so pretty. But then I noticed it has like plants that would need green, and green's not in our colour palette today. And then there is the Girl Moments Volume 3, and I saw this like nostalgic page with a little dog. I thought that would be perfect too. But then I also have Girl Moments Volume 2. Although it's just one colour palette, I found a few pages that could make a good option. But I ultimately decided no to the Cozy Europe. And then I was tossing between these two and I said no to Girl Moments 3, so it's Girl Moments 2 today. And before we begin, we're going to grab our page protector. The page protector is finally here, guys. It is beautiful. She is a frosted finish. She's nice and thin. She bends so you can transport her wherever you need to. She fits perfectly under pages. So happy with how this has come out. It is like my baby. I love this page protector. I've been wanting to make one of these for you guys for ages. So this bad boy is going to protect your pages from any bleed through. So when you're coloring in a page, you just pop this bad boy underneath to prevent the markers from bleeding through to the page under that one. So this bad boy has your back. As you know, a page protector is an essential for your coloring. This just protects your pages. This is the page protector I've been working on for you guys. So if you guys are interested, the link will be in the description. It's just at teamarico.com. So yeah, this guy will be available today. I'm so excited! Let's get back to the video. So using our color palette, it is time to color. First off, I started with the blue. I knew what I wanted to be blue. It was best to do the process of what would go where instead of just going with the flow for me today. And I sort of did a sneaky, I'm not gonna make the sky blue because that's just too easy. I barely wanted to use this brown. It is very, very dark, so I'm just going to keep it very minimal and keep it in the coffee and on the bee. The eggnog color was probably the easiest one to lay down because it is such a nice soft yellow. And then it was onto the rosier tone brown, the pink. It's really pretty with the blue. You'll notice here on the jug, I wanted it to be see-through, so I'm just grabbing a fine tip black pen and drawing the rest of her pajamas through the jug. And now I'm just going to try and use the rest of the colours for the rest of the picture. For the sky, I wanted to do a little sunrise moment because I like to think of this as like a morning coffee, so I'm going to use that light yellow and the really pretty pink. And then for the tree outside, this isn't cheating either, by the way. I'm placing the lighter brown, the roasted cinnamon brown I think it's called, and then I'm going to place the darkest brown on top of it to mix to make like a nice little neutral brown. Not cheating. And then for her skin color, I wanted it to be a warm beige, so I'm going in with this shade. It's not in the color palette, no, but I also wasn't going to make her a Simpson today. Now this is where I got stuck because I'd used all the colors, but I had the wall and the counter to do, and I didn't really want to use any of the colors that we had in our color palette, so I'm grabbing the iPad again. There's this little plus sign that adds a color to our color palette, and I'm just going to do that twice because I have a wall and a counter. No, this isn't cheating. Please allow me to do this. Now I'm going in with these fine tip pens. These pens are just generic pens. I don't even know where I got them from. They're very old. They're just pens. And keeping it with the color palette, I'm going to use these to add little patterns to everything, including the mitt, the cloth, and also her pajamas. To map out the pajamas, I'm going to use a pencil first because Lord knows I could not do this freehand. Now I'm just gonna go in with this blue pencil. If you know me, you know I don't really mess with pencils, but I just wanted to add that little bit of a smoky blue to the pajamas, so I'm just adding it teeny weeny bit into the hearts. It's barely noticeable, but I notice. So now it's time to deepen everything up, add some shading, depth, highlights. So we're just going to add some depth using darker shades of our color palette and grays. And now it's time for my favorite part, the acrylic white marker. I'm just gonna go in with this and add our highlights everywhere. I also wanted to add a little bit of a smoke effect coming from the hot coffee. Just going in with that white marker, and if it's a little bit too harsh, I can just dab away with my finger, but I just want it to sort of look like steam coming out of the coffee. And there is our picture all done. Our page protector looks real good, and so does the page underneath. I'm really happy with how our picture is looking, but before we're finished, we're going to grab our page palette and we're going to fill it out so we can keep this color palette forever. And there we have it. Our page is all done. I love how this has turned out. I really like this color palette that the generator gave me. I think it's really different. I've never done anything like it before. I love it. And this was such a fun challenge. I so recommend you guys have a go at this. If you're ever stuck on a color palette, you should totally just go on this website, click a color palette and stick to it. This is so much fun. I love how this turned out. So yeah, don't forget to check out those page protectors and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.